I think a couple of things happen. One, don't panic about the thistles. My neighbour across the road had a great experiment 2 years ago. They sprayed a patch and then they ran out of chemicals. So they did half the paddock and didn't do the rest. They killed all the thistles and carrot weed and all the other things they were trying to kill then, and they all disappeared. And the next year, guess where they came back again? They came back where they'd killed them. And where they'd let them go, they disappeared. So cycles, they will cycle themselves out. Generally, if I've got thistles or carrot weed or any of those deep-rooted annuals coming up, I know that I've overgrazed the paddock and created a situation for them to germinate, and they will come in, do their process, and then go out of the system.
So they just kind of disappear on their own?
They disappear. And the last experiment we did was in 2003. As I said before, I used to be a chemical, and I got paid to go around killing weeds. And I had some chemical left in the shed, and in the middle of the drought we had a bit of a wet period came back in, and I had a whole lot of paddocks that I'd chewed bare. So rather than throw the chemical out, I got a contractor in to come and spray, and we only had enough to do one paddock. So we sprayed one paddock with the MCPA amine to kill flatweeds, thistles, and we didn't do the other 3 paddocks that we sowed. And the first year, the one we sprayed, you saw these lovely green lines of the grasses we'd planted came up, and it all looked pretty and everything. And the ones that we didn't spray were a mess. There were thistles and carrot weed and all sorts of weeds coming up, and you could hardly see what we'd sown. The next year, the ones that we hadn't sprayed, the grasses came back better, and the third year they were fantastic. And the one we had sprayed came back for weeds for about 5 years. So initially it looked great where we'd sprayed, but within 1 or 2 years that one had gone backwards and was still trying to recover, and the ones that we hadn't sprayed were just spectacular.
So